Today, I would like to do a piece on the Long Beach Pike.
I spent a good part of my time down in the Pike and on the beach. And for a kid, this was really great.
The Pike was a great thing because the Pacific Electric brought people down from Los Angeles, from all over Southern California, and they would stop on Ocean Avenue just above the Pike. The Pike would draw people, just many thousands of people, as the pictures will show, that beauty contests, you couldn't walk down the Pike. You just shoulder to shoulder people.
When I was a kid, my mom told me she was going to take us to the beach. But I didn't know that they had an amusement park owns the beach, and they had a favorite roller coaster. It was called the Wild Mouse.
Probably a little young at that point to ride the Cyclone Racer, but I recall getting on the Wild Mouse and noticing that it was spelled funny. First of all, that was the weirdest thing to me, and that all the tight turns, and it was a different kind of thing than I expected.
And I would like to expound on one of the reasons they called it the Wild Mouse, because this particular ride was by the water, and when the one time they say that the Wild Mouse track didn't stop and it ran off into the water and somebody got killed. And this was one of the most scariest rides in the 70s, when a lot of black people used to go from Watts to Long Beach. And I wanted to document this because this is the history of Long Beach Pike amusement park at the beach. My mom told us that she was taking us to the beach, and like always, it was my mom, it was all my brothers, the Fisher family, it was my sister, and we had a dog named King. He was what you call a wild Marine mix. He was a pure wild Marine. But later on, we didn't know that this dog would be the king of the east side, because wild Marines, they grow big. He's a tan color. And we all went to the beach in our station wagon.
Announcing the new Ford. Let's start again. Announcing the new Ford station wagons for 1963. Now available in 4 different sizes. 1, the new Falcon Deluxe Club Wagon. Priced below most compact wagons, it has twice as much load space as full-size wagons. 2, the new Falcon Squire gives you loads of room at an economy price. An electrically operated tailgate window is standard. 3, the Fairlane Squire, a hot new middleweight. It loads like the big ones, costs like the compacts, and it's a Ford exclusive. And 4, the 9-passenger Galaxy Country Squire. The aristocrat of station wagons, practical as well as elegant, with features like this counterbalanced tailgate. See America's longest and liveliest line of station wagons. Hold it. Thank you. 15 models in all at your Ford dealers.
I think it was a 63 station wagon with our dog and our family. Like the typical family of people that came from Louisiana with no father. It was all of us boys and one girl. But to make a long story short, we ended up going to Long Beach. As we getting closer to the beach, I start smelling the water, the contaminated like water in Long Beach. It was a smell that I would never forget. And as we approached the beach, we had our dog with us, and we got there, and it was daytime, and we was going into the water. My brother had inner tubes that we used to tumble on, that we get from Goodyear in the back, where we would get and blow them up with air. And we took a big balloon, an inner tube with us. And while we got there, it was we had our lunch there. It started to get dark, and you get to see the most beautiful environment, the most beautiful scenery of Long Beach Pier. As it started getting dark, as we being kids, we were saying, ooh, what is that big carnival wheel? You get to see the lights. You get to hear this magnificent roller coaster. And it would get by the water. And all of a sudden, when we know we got a little popcorn and everything, we went on the pier, we went up there, and then we waited in line to get on the ride. A lot of us was too young, but a lot of us, we got on there, and when you're going on the ride, it take you up. Then it take you down, and it take you back up, and it take you to go, like you finna go into the water, and it turns. And it like you was in a Porsche, and you turn, and one day they said that this ride didn't turn, and it went into the actual water, and this would make the ride real scary, and it was real famous. This was before Six Flags, the Colossus, and all of those rides that killed people. This was like the beach, the carnival that was at the beach at Long Beach that night. And as I got on the ride, I never forget, it scared me to death. And when I was little, that was the first time I kind of felt my heart gibberate from the ride and turns and everything. And I never forgot that particular event, that particular evening. So when I got younger, when I started growing up in South Central, we moved from Lawrence. We moved to over there by Firestone, which was the apartment buildings right there. We ran into this was later on become 8-9 Hood. Then we moved across the street in some more apartments because we was on the county, and my mom was getting checks first and 15th. And we started moving different places in LA. We lived over there in 8-7 Hood one time next to LV. Then we moved over onto 84th across the street from Butchie. And then we moved over there on 83rd, 84th in Compton Avenue. That's when the first time I ever met Ronnie McKnighton. I met the Kitchen Crips over there.
The Kitchen Crips originated over 40 years ago on the east side of South Central. They have 3 known cliques: the 11-6 Kitchen Crips, the 9-5 Kitchen Crips, and the 8-7 Kitchen Crips. Kitchen Crips are known to wear Kansas City Royal gear with the big KC to rep their set.
And a lot of these guys used to hang at my mom's house, and we used to all be kind of like hanging together. And Ronnie McKnight went to prison from over there. And then we moved from there, we moved on 68 in Central, which we was already kind of like familiar with the Crips. And we moved over there. My brother didn't join the Kitchen Crips, so they ended up moving on 68, and we started, my Big Squeak started the 68th Street gang. And we all was over there hanging out. We was always over there with the Shack Boys over there. We was over there too. And we couldn't go past Gage. This is history. And now, as I got older, I always remember the first amusement park I went to, which is called the Long Beach Pike. And as I got older, and me and my friends, we started hustling. We started being in the streets, doing crazy stuff. One day we stole a bunch of bus passes right there on Florence and Central from the bus. Used to stay there and hang there, and we stole the bus passes and we started punching them. And we say, man, we had some money. We say, man, let's go to the Pike. Because a lot of times dudes used to go way out there and come back with piggy banks and different things they won at the arcade. And man, we went out there on the bus. I mean, it took us all the way. It took us a long time to get out there on the bus because we had to keep transferring one bus to another bus.
If you work downtown and getting there is driving you bananas, it's time you tried RTD's Park and Ride service. Don't work your way to work. Just drive to a nearby boarding point, step on an RTD bus, and relax. If you're a little late, you can even bring a bite of breakfast with you. Depending on how far you drive, you could easily save $1,000 a year. After work, you're delivered to your waiting car with frequent service from downtown. RTD Park and Ride service is the closest thing to personal transportation at a fraction of the cost.
So we finally get there, and it was just like when I was a kid. The Wild Mouse was still going. It was scaring people, and it was a famous ride. And we started playing the arcade games and the video games and the coin toss games, and we won these skull heads. And it got kind of dark, And we was out there, and we had to get on the bus to go back. But when right before we got ready to leave, we seen a movie theater. And the movie theater was right down the street from the Pike. And we went in there, it was playing 3 the Hard Way. And man, we loved Jim Kelly and all them in that movie. 3 Hard was it was Jim Kelly and 3 about some black guys. We went in there and stayed in there till it got dark. Then we caught the bus back to the east side.